February is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and a local group is working with lawmakers for change.
Dallas Ontiveros joins us live from the state capitol with all the details. Morning, Dallas.
Good morning, Christian Ross. Yes, an important issue that we're speaking about during Wake Up today. And here joining us on the show is our friend Chris Cofield, who is the Executive Director of EMUA Alliance. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Chris.
Thank you so much for speaking with me.
So you mentioned a little bit earlier on Wake Up today that one of the bills, 550, was on top of the Keiki Caucus since the legislative session opened just last week. And it pretty much acts as, for teachers to act as a first responder when it comes to the human trafficking issue. As far as what we see on Oahu, what schools really stand out when it comes to the survivors and the victims that you all work with?
So it's really interesting. I think there's this myth that trafficking is something that happens to highly impoverished communities, and it does. But most of the child survivors that we work with actually come from more affluent areas. So some of the schools the schools that are most heavily impacted by trafficking on Oahu would be Mililani High School, Radford High School, Moanalua High School. These schools that are located in some more affluent communities, and we think that's because you have latchkey kids who have access to the newest technology, so that traffickers are using that technology to have easier access to those kids. It's a really interesting dynamic that we're trying hard to work on.
And what other schools on the other islands that we could pay attention to?
Lahaina Luna on Maui is a school that we've worked with because there's been a trafficking problem there in the past. Konawaena on the west side of Hawaii, Hawaii Island has a pretty big trafficking problem because of the size of the island, the totality of the resources necessary to address this problem and social problems on that island. So that's another area we're looking very heavily at.
And again, what is the average age here in Hawaii?
So the average age of a trafficking victim in Hawaii is about 16 and a half years old. And on top of that, a trafficking victim likely isn't going to come into contact with a first responder until 3 years after they're first trafficked. So a child trafficking victim probably isn't going to get help until they're an adult, which is a big problem.
And you shared, so I get this correct, in the last half hour, 25% of the survivors you all work with are from the Native Hawaiian community and Pacific Islander.
That's correct. So 25% of the survivor population that we serve is Pacific Islander or Native Hawaiian. We also know from looking at data from our peer organizations that trafficking in Hawaii is a problem that disproportionately impacts the Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander community. So we need to be more culturally responsive and sensitive in how we reach out to those communities to bring solutions about how we address this issue.
So this Bill 550, what are teachers going to have to do? Who are they going to have to report to? What signs are they going to look for?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is we know that school communities where kids congregate and teachers are often sort of the people who are most heavily in contact with kids. So they're the people who are best equipped to see the signs of trafficking in their classrooms. So what this bill would do is empower them to identify signs of trafficking, especially behavioral signs of trafficking, and then respond to potential cases in a trauma-informed way that gets those students, those children, in the safety, the help that they need to reach safety.
And I know you mentioned during the commercial break that some of these human trafficking victims don't even go to school. So how do we figure out that element to this?
Yeah, that's a really big problem. And so one of the things that our organization is doing is providing outreach on a daily basis. We have an outreach team that's out on a nightly basis trying to help identify locations where children are being trafficked, where young women are being trafficked, and then we try to connect them with basic resources as well as with law enforcement and other human services organizations that can help out.
Share that number with us again.
Our hotline number is 808-679-7454, and also if somebody sees something, they can also call 911.
Thank you so much, Chris. He's going to be hanging out with us for another hour. He's sharing such great information and is part of an amazing group, along with other groups that are doing such great efforts as well when it comes to this issue. But if there is any more resources that you're looking for or just want to follow up with all the coverage when it comes to this topic, you can visit our website at KH12.com. Reporting over here at the scene, Dallas Ontiveros, KH12 News, working for Hawaii.
Thank you, Dallas. The time now, 6:40. Coming up, Chris will have a live look at the roads and those drive times if you're heading into town.
Plus, Netflix is cracking down on people sharing their passwords.